Opinions and ideas expressed in the following Moraine Valley Broadcast Channel recording are those of its creators and do not represent the views of Moraine Valley Community College.
Welcome to episode 2 of This Made Me Laugh with
Jenny,
Maria,
Abdallah Adi,
and I'm Brienne. To start off, I'm going to talk about my pick, which was Bob's Burgers. The episode was The Equestronauts. Essentially what happened in the episode is Tina, the oldest daughter, goes to an EquestraCon, like a convention for fans of a show called The Equestronauts. And she realizes that the majority of the fan base there are middle-aged men and not little girls like she thought. And so one of the middle-aged male fans steals her prized chariot doll, and Bob goes undercover to get her doll back. And so this episode is actually a parody of Bronies, which is male fans of a show called My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic. H. John Benjamin voices Bob. He also voices Archer. Even is an Archer Bob's Burger episode in Fugue and Riffs. And if you like Archer, then you might like Bob's Burgers.
Well, what I like about your episode was how you said Tina was expecting little girls to go in there, and she walks in with a bunch of guys who were like probably her dad's age, even probably older. But even then, she ends up clicking with this little group who the guy actually happens to, in a way, trade off her pony for some like nice new fancy looking pony, and actually she doesn't know is the actual value of that pony.
Yeah, it's like a rare one. Also, I love that they called themselves the Equesticles because they have testicles. It's like my favorite joke in the episode.
I know. It was pretty funny. Also, how her dad actually just goes out of his way, doesn't like it, but actually puts the effort to understand the whole show that his daughter likes and tries to go save her little pony.
Yeah, that's the best.
what I liked about your show was I thought it was kind of funny, but it was also kind of like dumb, but in a way that was funny. The characters were like interesting. I feel like they all looked the same kind of but different. Also they had different like their voice was emphasized differently, so their voices kind of made what they were saying more funny. And I would pretty much watch it again, but that's the first like video I seen of it, so yeah.
All right, and Abdallah?
I liked this episode for many reasons. It was fun. My main part I liked was the tattoo.
Tattoo?
The tattoo.
Instead of tattoo?
Yeah, instead of tattoo. Where he has to get it because he's in that club, the Pony Club, whatever that's called. And yeah, it was pretty good. I watched it like 2 times, try to understand it more. It was fun. I thought it was like Family Guy. I like Family Guy. I'm gonna start watching Bob's Burgers more now. And my favorite part, second favorite part, was the last where she didn't want to play with it. She wanted to put it in a box and like, cause she was old and her dad got mad because
he did all that and then she didn't even want it anymore.
Yeah, I was like, that's petty. And I was like, if it was me, I would have whooped her, bro.
And I also forgot to mention, I picked this episode because I had friends that were bronies, and I thought it was hilarious that Bob's Burgers decided to parody it. And also, like, their family dynamic is very similar to mine in terms of, like, we all like to make fun of each other in, like, most loving way possible, even though it might seem mean. And so that was one of the reasons I picked this one.
It was a nice choice.
Thanks.
It was. Well, I picked Grown Ups, actually. It's a buddy film comedy type of thing. Adam Sandler starts in it, which I'm pretty sure a lot of us have seen most of his work.
Yeah.
Pretty much in this movie, he actually gets the news about his coach from when he was a kid in the basketball team passed away. So all his little buddies go back. I mean, they're not buddies anymore, but they're older men now, with their families, kids, and wives. And they pretty much reunite again and try to like catch up where they left off when they were kids. They also tag along the kids because they actually go to like, I guess like the cabin where they used to go when they were younger. And they notice that their kids are more worried about watching TV, playing video games, and really not trying to go out and see what's out there. So the parents try to like help them see what else you could do out in the wilderness. What I kind of really like found really funny was that one part where all the wives are like in the water park, and they're over here checking out that one guy that's all the way across.
Yeah.
With the six pack and everything. So they're over here, trying to get his attention. He actually manages to come across. By the time that he reaches them, it's like it all looks good, but the voice is just like
They're like,
So high.
yeah, so high, so high. Adam Sandler is like really, really one of my best comedians. So I mean, if you like Grown Ups 1, you'll probably like Grown Ups 2 or 3.
So what I liked about your movie, well, this is one of my favorite movies. I think that Adam Sandler is funny because like he's not that best of a looking guy, and he's always put with like beautiful women, and I just think that's funny. And his interaction with like his friends in the movie were funny, and just the way like the little slick comments he like says to his children about like going outside or playing with the electronics or something. Yeah. So Grown Ups 1 and 2 are pretty much like one of the best comedies, I would say.
Grown Ups was a really good movie when it came out. I wanted to watch it, go to the movies, but I couldn't, so I had to wait for it to come down on disc. I mean, I liked it. My favorite part was the ending when they had that basketball game, and then that guy shot the 3-point line, and then his foot was on the line. That happened, right?
Yeah,
that's it, yeah.
It happened.
Yeah, it was cool. It was a funny movie. There's a lot of hot women. His wife is hot, I'm not gonna lie.
Salma Hayek.
Who?
Her name's
Salma
Selma Hayek.
Oh, yeah, her name is Selma Hayek, I guess. Yeah, it was a good movie, I guess. Funny. It was my favorite one out of the 2 I watched, and didn't watch the third one. I'm gonna watch it tonight, most likely.
I mean, I liked Grown Ups. It was good. I'm a fan of Adam Sandler, and he has a lot of the same kind of things that happen in his movies. So there's usually a lot of like physical comedy. Like one of my favorite Adam Sandler movies is Billy Madison, which is I think his first movie. And so there's there's lots of physical comedy. There's always like cameos from his like core group of people that have been in like Big Daddy and a bunch of other of his movies. I mean, there's some of the stuff I didn't really relate to because it was definitely geared towards adult married people with children. And so I mean, I don't really get the whole like disdain for technology because I mean I grew up with technology, and I mean like there was some laughs. There's a lot of toilet jokes and like some easy jokes that they do. That I mean it's pretty standard for Adam Sandler comedies.
He manages to laugh.
Yeah, I mean like it's not the most cerebral comedy you're gonna get, but it's funny. I mean like it's a nice what was it like an hour and 45 minutes something like that.
It gets just like the way that he puts his character to action. He pretty much makes us really, really laugh.
Yeah, I mean, like, they all go there in terms of, like, physicality and stuff like that, which is funny.
I didn't know Adam Sandler,
Adam
Sandler.
Adam Sandler before that movie, so it was the first movie I watched, and I was like, yeah, this guy's funny. And then I watched more of his movies.
All right, so next up we're going to have Maria talk about her text that she picked.
So my movie was How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. Kate Hudson and Matthew McConaughey play in this movie. They're the main characters. And this is your typical romantic comedy. They're both single. They're both looking for somebody, but they don't necessarily have time because they're so involved in their work and their family life and their social life. So basically the movie is they both bet their bosses on if they could get somebody like attached to them within 10 days. And Kate Hudson, Andy, she sees Matthew at a bar and she bets her manager how like if he could get her like involved with her. And throughout the movie she does like funny things so she can make him fall in love with her. But the way she does it, I just think it's like really funny because she like acts crazy. That's not like appropriate to act. And then at the end they like go together. And
all right, so Abdallah, what do you think about How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days?
It was my first time watching the movie. To be honest, when I saw the cover, I was like, oh, it's going to be a boring, girly movie.
I feel like it is for like
if a girl,
girls.
Rom-coms are usually for women, though.
So I was like, man. So my favorite part was when they were at the Knicks game. It was like the final seconds. And then she wanted to be a bitch. And she told him she wants to drink. And he missed the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was, and the ending was bad.
You didn't like the ending?
No, like stop the taxi and just.
It's a romantic comedy, so
they always have to have a happy ending.
Happy ending, but not like that. Not at a taxi. At least at the airport.
It's always in romantic comedies.
Because that's when she's about to go, not the taxi. She's still on her way.
Yes, but romantic comedies always have like a happily ever after ending, and also it's like this big romantic gesture. He chased her on his motorcycle in the taxi. That's like always in romantic comedies.
Right.
Well, yeah, my bad. I don't watch those a lot. But your movie, I would rate like a 7.5. It wasn't that bad.
Thank you.
But I would watch other movies. I don't like romance.
Yes.
You guys probably figured, but alright.
All right, and so, I mean, I like the movie. I mean, I saw it a lot when I was a kid. It came out, I don't know, like in the early 2000s. I think
2003 was like the date.
there you go. So I was 11.
Yeah.
And so it's interesting because the way they portray women in it is very like overly emotional and
Right.
like needy. And of course, Andy's the cool girl who likes
Yeah.
sports, so obviously she's cool. And it was like typical rom com. Like it had like a boy meets girl, and there's some obstacle between them, and so they can't be together, and then they break up, and then all of a sudden they're back together, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it's always in such a short period of time, which kills me because you get sucked into the movie, you don't think about it, and then when he asked her to go to the dinner or gala, whatever it is for his work, and she's like, "Isn't that 10 days since we've been dating?" I was like, "This has only happened in 10 days, and you guys are trying to be this serious about each other? Like, this is a little much." I mean, but for the most part, I liked it. It's an easy. I think it's like 2 hours to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like lighthearted and fun. It's like nothing too deep or serious.
Yeah, it was a really good movie. I kind of liked it. I'm more of a person who likes romance comedy, so I will sit through those 2-3 hours and just watch them over and over and over again. I really, really liked all her ideas on how to every time that he was with his friends, she would always try to embarrass him in a kind of way. When she takes that little dog into his
I was
office,
gonna say that.
trying to make them all match and everything, and then she called him by a little nickname, and then his coworkers were like, "Oh,
Looking at him like,
Isn't it like
what
the
is
Yeah.
warrior
happening?
Krull or something
Mhm,
like
Yeah.
that?
kind of like that." And then the dog having his little moment on the table, and actually,
When he peed on the table.
yeah, he peed on the table.
Or when they were playing bullshit with the family.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
the game. That was fun.
I died too that they had the dog pee on his poker table at home too. Just
I was pissed
continue.
at that. They were having fun, and the dog just comes in peace.
I mean, well, that was the whole point. Is the stereotypical obviously guys don't like it when you're needy or
Yeah.
feminine and
Yeah.
and it killed me that she blew his nose like she was his mom.
Oh yeah, that was too
like-
hilarious.
Or when she put pink in his bathroom.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
made it her own after 2 days of knowing him. Like what?
Oh,
Which
yeah.
I know, and I was like, no one would think that it's all right.
Right.
Any normal person would be like, what are you doing?
Right.
Why are
Exactly.
you bringing a box of things over to my house?
It's like-
It also killed me too where it was like, oh my God, he had a heart attack 'cause there's tampons in there. I'm like, calm down, bro. It's all right. Okay, so now it's Abdallah's going to talk about his pick.
The best movie about this project is
Okay.
my movie, so I chose Rush Hour 3. Rush Hour 3 has two main characters, Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan, Lee and Carter. Well, my favorite character is Jackie Chan. That's why I began watching it, Rush Hour. Alright, so this movie's about people trying to assassinate Ambassador Han, and Lee and Carter have to go to Paris to protect this French woman that has a knowledge of the triads, or secret leaders. Yeah, it was funnier than the first two. Yeah. My favorite part was when Carter started arguing with that Kung Fu master about the name, me and you.
Oh, yeah. Like
What's your name? You.
Abbott and Costello kind of thing.
Yeah, and then I like this one because it was better than the other two. It was funnier and more entertaining. And then Jackie Chan played some badass kung fu in that movie.
That's
Yeah.
true. All right, well, I like the movie. I mean, it had a lot of the same kind of tropes that they used in the first two Rush Hours, which, I mean, I like the first Rush Hour. That's probably one of my favorite, buddy comedies. I mean, obviously, this movie's not for women. There's a lot of heterosexual male comedy, when Chris Tucker goes into the dressing room and, acts like he's a designer or the dresser or whatever it is. Just look at these women in the cabaret. There's a lot of, bro-y jokes, I would say, when Chris Tucker acts like Genevieve's a man because she doesn't have any hair or stuff like that. So I mean, it's reminds me of the first two, just in a different location. The first one was in LA, the second one was in
I think China.
it was
Yeah?
in China. Yes, it was. Yeah, okay. And then this one's in Paris. So it's kind of some of the same stuff. There's a lot of physical comedy. There's obviously a lot of kung fu because it's Jackie Chan's thing. He's always does his own stunts, stuff like that. So it's always fun to watch. Now, and they do the same thing where they kind of play with the language barrier and Jackie Chan, because he has an accent. So I mean, I liked it for the most part. Remind me of a lot of the first two.
It was a really good movie. It was really funny. I think I watched that movie maybe 4 or 5 times already.
You like it that much?
I was a kid
Oh.
about years ago. But no, I think one of the favorite parts that I liked was when they have the guy hostage which I think it was like I can't remember exactly what location it was when they brought, it was in a hospital, and it was like in the morgue. So they bring in the nun because the guy only speaks French. Can't understand that part. Like, and then they have the nun in between everything. Like, well, you tell him he's an S, he's an F, and then the guy is just like, okay, and then repeats it himself and about his grandmother and stuff. At the end, when I guess the guy, gives up and just tells him everything, and then Chris Tucker, says bye to the nun and is like, all right, it was good working with you. He's like, yeah, tops up, bro. It was funny.
This was the first time I've actually seen any of these movies. They're definitely more of guy movies, but I will watch them again. They're funny. I like the karate scene where like the guy is going crazy, and also the funniest part in the movie to me was when Kevin Hart was yelling at the guy and he was like choking him and he's trying to be serious, but he was like
Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart.
I mean, wait, what's his name?
Chris Tucker.
Oh yeah, Chris Tucker.
Just say Carla. Carla?
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, but he was like yelling at the guy and choking him, but he was like hysterical and freaking out, and that was funny. But yeah, I would watch it again though. It was funny.
All right, well, thanks for listening to episode 2 of This Made Me Laugh.